All right, welcome back to Off the Tap. This week is episode 80, and we're doing Lucky 19 Brewing Company's Warrior American Ale.
I do have to say, do you think episode 80 is like cursed? Do we think that that's the case?
We're off to a pretty rough start. I'll tell you that much.
All right. So obviously, we always like to pull back the curtain just a tad bit. This is like what, the seventh time we start? No, joking.
No.
It's like the fourth time that we've started. We've had recording issues. I'm gonna blame it on Discord as it normally would. Shout out to Discord. Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Shout out to Discord. Always fucking up. Always constantly. I know it's not Discord's fault, but I'm gonna go off on this tangent. Randall's getting a little bit uncomfortable here because he's just been waiting for me to unleash this. You're probably gonna have to cut all of this because it's gonna immediately snip all of our video from the web. But I gotta get it out. Fuck Discord, and it's constantly updating ass with less than pleasurable features that it offers for free to its people. We might as well be on fucking iPhones.
No, right. Man. Anyway. Discord's great. So many people that just join in, like just start on Discord, are like, "Oh my god, I hate it." But everybody that uses it like avidly loves Discord. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, dude, it's Stockholm syndrome when you become used to something being shitty. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna get off that soapbox. Probably all of which you're gonna cut out, but we just did a little exchange there that was great. Have you ever seen any of those clips? We're way off topic. I want to get back to the beer in a second, but you ever see one of those interviews where like somebody who's like very famous goes on like the Late Show and just gets off the fucking rails?
Oh yeah.
And like the host is just trying to like, no, like I mean, I was just like trying to reel it back in. I just unfortunately sprung one of those moments on you. And I don't know if you feel attacked right now, but
yeah, I mean a little bit because I'm the one that suggested Discord because it's free and I know how to use it.
Oh, no, yeah, it's gonna remain trash, but that's not like your fault. I just didn't know if you felt attacked because we didn't have a pre discussion about. Well, not today about my thoughts on Discord, but anyway. Back to Lucky 19 Brewing Company Warrior American Ale.
Yeah, so this is an American ale coming in at 4.9% ABV and 10 IBUs.
So super soft, super drinkable. The question that I ask is it the mothership? We did it. We finally, maybe just because of happenstance, did a little bit of pre-research this week compared to normal.
Yeah. Kind of out of unfortunate luck, I guess, this time, huh?
So it's not their flagship because, like, again, I think 4.9 ABV and 10 IBU. That's like the standard drinkable. That's their mow down every day. It is not a seasonal, but it is. So it is one of their brands that stays around. We've done the Bearcat Blonde. We've done the Lucky Devil. And the Warrior American Ale, as you could guess, when you guys see the picture that's posted, and just because of the name, it is a support beer for Operation Red Wings Foundation, and it's the mission to provide veterans and their families with a path to healing from invisible wounds. So I would assume some of the commission off the cans goes to PTSD for the Red Wings Foundation's for wounded veterans or those that are suffering from PTSD.
We're just totally, I mean, we don't know for sure, but we're assuming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it mentions it in the description, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, invisible wounds. I mean, and just you could I think we had a couple of other beers where they had something like that, like $1 from each 6-pack or something goes into or I don't know what the percentage is, but some of the proceeds go into supporting a function. And this one, by branding, you can kind of tell has that. Like when I read it, I was like, oh, this is probably a veteran support thing or something like that.
Lucky 19 does. We talked last week when we did the Stesty Blueberry Lager about how they kind of like all their cans look very similar with slightly different branding, right? And that's what we've run into with Lucky 19 here as well. All their branding is very similar, just with small adjustments for each beer, and I do kind of enjoy that as well. We're doing back-to-back weeks with that, but it's just nice to have that like recognizable can and be like, ooh, I wonder which one that is, and you don't have to guess where it's from.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I remember us liking the Bearcat Blonde. I mean, shout out to those SHU Bearcats, but I remember it being good, but I don't remember the Lucky Devil. Like the can seems familiar, but like I can't taste it when I see the label.
Yeah. Well, that one was a Kolsch.
Yeah.
And I can go back and look at our scores for what we gave it here.
Yeah, that'd be dude, there I forget every one of theirs says a beer in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Oh yeah.
Um I like so this one seems to be and it's an ale, so this is kind of common, but it there's like some I don't want to say sediment, but it doesn't look like it's super filtered. It doesn't
Well,
claim to be unfiltered, but
no, it does not. So on the Lucky Devil, I gave it a 31. You gave it a 29. So
okay. So
pretty
that's pretty
good.
good.
I remember it being good. I just don't remember it exactly.
Mhm.
Because I remember us being pretty pumped up about Lucky 19. The hometown, well, not hometown, but close to hometown hitter.
Yeah. I mean, relatable hometown. I don't know if I think when we got this one, was the Bearcat Blondes there in stock? I believe so. It's starting to pop up. They're starting to like when gosh, oh Jesus. Let me get a statement out of my mouth before I change my mind. Um, the first time we saw the Bearcat Blonde, you guys got it from somewhere else, right? You guys got it
Uh,
from HEB or something
yeah,
like
I
that.
got it at HEB.
And and it was like a display or something, right?
There was someone there, I think, from, or maybe that was
No,
for
you were
Lucky
right.
Devil. There was somebody like there that I think was like pushing them. And I was like, well, hell
Oh,
yeah.
I remember what it was. We had already had the Bearcat Blonde,
And the Lucky
and
Devil
then
was the,
they were there doing the thing, like doing it, and we ended up getting the Lucky Devil, or vice versa.
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I picked out the Bearcat Blonde because I'm a bear cat,
Right.
and I was like, oh, that's cool. Eat them up, baby. Eat them up,
Yeah.
cats.
But no, but I'm saying like I think we were or somebody maybe I think it might have been your dad that was there or whatever, and they were like you should try this beer, and he was like, have y'all had this? And you were like, we've had the Bearcat, get the other one or something. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure the exact exchange, but two things to come out of that statement. One, apparently the people that do go to stores and peddle their brand, it obviously works
Yeah.
because we tried another one, and the second thing is so I at the time that I've seen the Bearcat Blonde, but it was always alone. And I think they put that one into market first just because like folks are gonna be like, oh shit, Bearcats, I'll get it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then when they like it, they're like, oh shit, now I'll try anything that not Lucky
Mm,
19 has.
and
So
it's working.
I'm very excited to try this one considering I think we liked the Lucky Devil and I know we like the Bearcat Blonde. But
Yeah.
I say all that to say this: more and more of them are showing up, like in my local HEB. Like you can instead of
Yeah.
just going and getting Bearcat, there's like three or four options that are there, maybe
Well, I
five.
mean, that's where we got this one was over by you.
Correct.
So,
So,
yeah, that's pretty
couple of
exciting.
things. It had a thick head on it, but I forgot to raise the glass, and then it is a little hazy, but
I don't know why, but I'm going in for this sniff, right? I would do this for every beer. I go in for a whiff and then I taste it. I'm smelling peanut butter. I don't know why.
I don't get peanut butter at all. But
I don't oh,
let me smell it in the glass.
I don't
I
know.
don't get.
I
Did
might
you
be
eat
going
any peanut
crazy.
butter? Did you eat any peanut butter recently? Because that stuff
I
has a tendency of sticking around to your face, to your lip, to your
I
nose.
had
You
some
know what I mean?
yesterday. I had a couple of peanuts today.
Yeah, dude. What? Okay. When would listen? All right. It's like, yeah, I really taste like I don't know, like spearmint or something. Did you chew any gum today? No, no. But I did use a shitload of mouthwash. Like, dude, come on. Obviously,
No, I
you ate
did
a
have a
couple
mint
peanuts.
though. I had a mint, a
Yeah,
spearmint.
yeah.
No, that's not exactly the same.
My breath smells like ass. Did you eat something bad? No, but I had a turd candy bar. That's basically what you just said.
No, it's
Is
not at
like I
all.
don't know where
I
the taste
mean,
of peanut butter could come from,
you could have
except for
definitely
those
gone with like a
peanuts I
skunk
had.
sprayed my mouth or something instead. A turd candy bar? What the hell,
I
dude?
don't know, dude. Yeah, that would have been a little more seamless.
I don't know.
Along with working on transitions and segues, I'll add that how I describe shit candy that makes your mouth smell like death farts.
Yeah, thanks. I do appreciate that.
Yeah. So
I'm
actually,
not
hold
getting
on,
it. Now that I've tasted it, I'm not getting it.
bro. See, here's the thing that's fucked
Now
up,
you're
and
getting it?
now I'm starting to smell it. But I think obviously it's all in my brain. Okay,
Yeah, it's a what do they call that? A placebo?
a
Is that a
placebo.
placebo?
It's a placebo. It's the placebo effect. So yeah, no, I don't know what that would be. I mean, I get what you mean by saying placebo, but I think that's
I
the
don't yeah,
improper
I don't
context.
know if it, yeah. You understand what I'm saying, but I think I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
it
I understand.
incorrect. Yeah.
It's
All right.
you're
Mm,
listen. It's good though.
it is good.
I like it a lot. It's very
It could very
uh
much be like I don't know what their flagship beer is, but it tastes like it very well could be a flagship.
and it yeah, it does. They have a light, just straight up the Lucky Light. The weird thing is it's a cream ale, and that doesn't make me think like when I think like Lucky Light is basically Miller Light or Bud Light. Like it's the
Yeah.
just straight up light, but it being a cream ale is kind of weird. Good Lord, these
Are
are
they
packing on
getting
the
you
burps.
already?
Yeah, I really do
Ooh.
like this. This is yeah, I think a lot of folks would enjoy this.
It's a good one.
Um
Lucky 19's hitting very well right now. They're hitting below
Mhm.
par.
Yeah, it's always sketchy when you say it like that. Immediately I was like below, but then when you say par, I was like, ah, I got it.
That confused me for the longest time when I was learning about golf.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, why minus? Why is he at the top? Because obviously, you
Grant,
know, I'm growing up playing baseball and stuff. So
I played in a scramble recently, and it's so hilarious when you play in these big like company scrambles. It was just this weekend. Played in this massive scramble, and like we came in. First off, we were a foursome, but like it was half-ass rainy, like the first 7 or 8 holes. So two of the guys didn't even show up when we started. And so it was just two of us, which means technically you get to hit, you get to hit four balls. So it doesn't matter
yeah.
if you got one person, if you got two people. So we ended up hitting the equivalent of 36 holes, which
Oh
was
my
exhausting,
gosh.
right? But anyway, we came in and we were like five under. Okay. And here's the thing that's crazy. Yeah, you say that, but in a scramble, you don't even get on the leaderboard unless you're like 12 under or
Yeah,
13 under. And so like being
it's
six
fair.
under, I was like I felt good considering it was only two of us.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
we don't even get
how
on
many
the
were
board.
y'all playing against?
So there was two carts per hole, right? So that's 36. Sorry, two four man scrambles per hole.
Okay. So
Okay,
8 people per hole.
8 people per hole times two courses.
Okay.
So whatever that is, 8 times 18 times two.
How many people were like? So so it was you two and y'all were playing as a foursome basically.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Um.
Well, speaking of this, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's so many freaking sports. There's golf. You know, I mean, you can name a freaking slew of them, right? You got golf, you got baseball, you got football, you got basketball, all the classics. Hockey, freaking lacrosse. You know, cricket. Not a lot of people
Yeah.
talk about cricket over in the states, but it's pretty big. It's big across the pond, right? So many things. But if you had to pick two, and that was it, that's all you could watch. What would it be, and why?
So, like, what do you mean? Like, so we're saying I gotta pick two to watch at the same time. Like, what's the throwdown on this? Like, what do you mean? I
No,
can
no, no.
only watch two.
I think two. That's all you can partake in for the rest of your life.
I can only partake in or only watch.
Watch.
Okay. So
Oh, wait,
I'm
why
gonna.
don't we do it? Why don't we do a watch and a part? Like you get two that you
Yeah.
can watch only, and then you get two that you can partake in only.
Oof. Okay. So baseball, obviously, number one.
Yeah.
Like just watching. I don't play that a lot, but watching. There's so many sports that I don't really like. Dude, I tried that. I think it's been a couple of weeks now, maybe a month ago or something. Like I think I even texted you maybe. Like I was trying to give cricket a go, and like
Yeah.
it kind of gets exciting, but also it's a lot of time. Like you know how people always bitch about baseball? They're like, it's just so slow.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Like cricket's even slower, okay? So, but I don't know. I kind of got into it a little bit. But anyways, it wouldn't be cricket. Baseball would be number one. That's easy. It goes without saying. My number two.
Number two is a toughie for me.
If I could only, okay, so I think about if it's watch and play. Like I never watch golf, but I do love to golf, and I have
Well,
fun
we
when
can
I do it.
separate them.
Okay, so if we could separate them, I would say number two would be non-American football, so soccer.
Soccer for American
Soccer,
people.
if I could only watch, it would be soccer and baseball. Okay. Now, if you were telling me things that I couldn't play, like if I had to pick two sports to play, I would say it would probably be soccer, only because Finley's into that,
Okay.
and then golf.
Oh, I can get behind that. Why would you choose golf though? I mean, just because you enjoy it, or
Yeah, because it's the one thing that, like, first off, you can play it by yourself,
yeah,
right? And you can play with big groups of people. Also, like, it's really close to tennis because I love tennis, but it's harder to find people to play tennis. And, like,
and you can't play tennis by yourself.
nope, you can't play tennis by yourself. And also, like, um, I just feel like, I don't know, I crave tennis sometimes, but I don't not like I do golf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get behind that because in high school I got into golf for like the last couple years of my high school, and it was just it's such a different vibe. You know what I mean? Like you kind of grow up and you're like everyone's like golf is boring, and it is boring until you get into it.
Yeah.
Like it's super boring to watch until you get into it. It's super
I don't,
boring to like just go out there and hit the ball and watch it slice different ways until you get into it and start learning how to not do that, right? And then you start, playing holes with the boys, hanging out, they're your friends, whoever they might be.
I I also like it because I've never had a bad time. I mean, I guess I've never had a bad time playing any sport as an adult. Okay. Not that I played a lot as an adult, but like there's times where I've played softball where I was just like miserable. What are you talking about? What are you laughing at?
I just would love to see you play some basketball, like pick up basketball.
Oh, no, 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 that ain't happening.
I
Honestly, honestly, the last time I played is not as long. Okay, I'm terrible at basketball, but the last time that I played, like as an adult,
I need to
was
see
like
it.
probably only like 10 years ago, probably.
Only a decade ago.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
probably.
right now, though. I'm talking about Stefan right now.
That would be my nickname.
What?
At point guard, Stefan, right now. No, but
Oh,
seriously.
I just would.
Um,
Just listen, dude. I love you, dude, but I've seen you run sometimes, and now you're pretty
oh,
quick.
no,
I'm not gonna say you're not quick, but it would just be hilarious to watch you run up and down a basketball court. Because I
not
just
a chance.
I have a horrible feeling those knees would buckle.
So many things would be dribbling. It wouldn't just be the ball, dude. That's the thing. Everything would just be kind of shaking. It would be like trying to,
Oh
you know how
gosh.
you know those pillows that were real popular, like in the late '90s, early 2000s, that had the beads in them, and
Oh
over
yeah.
time, all the beads would sag to one end. It would be like trying to shake that back into its form. That's what that would look like. But
Oh gosh.
so basketball isn't even on my list, even though I guess rec league wise that would be killer. No, it's golf for sure. Golf and soccer only because like I'm not good at soccer and I don't even that's almost as awkward for me to play with other adults as basketball would be. Not quite, but pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like when I think
Yeah,
like
we're
playing like when I think playing soccer though, at least in your
mhm.
case, I think about you playing it with your son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not imagining you playing it with adults, but I'm not imagining you playing basketball with your son. I'm imagining you
No.
playing basketball with a bunch of other people, maybe your age, maybe like 7 years younger than you though, at the rec center, like
No.
at the Y, and just get
Fucking
just
stuffed. Just
get.
ankles broke. Just dribbled around, stuffed.
Oh gosh, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Um, Yeah, I would love to be able to do basketball, but I don't think I could still do it to this day, you know?
What was
I mean,
not
obviously like I can't now, but
along came, was it along came Polly?
yeah. What does he say?
Downtown. Just
Dude, oh, just such a good scene. Oh my
best
gosh.
man's here. Just slips,
Yeah.
busts his ass. Oh god, I gotta pull the
Uh,
videos. I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch him in the background as you're telling me exactly what it is that. Okay, so
oh
if you
man.
could pick two sports to, let's do play and watch in whatever order you want.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna start with watch. Obviously number one for me is baseball as well.
Yeah,
Um, grew up playing it. It holds a special place in my heart. It's America's sport. You know what I mean? America's pastime. Uh, it's incredible fun. I don't care what anybody says. Okay.
yeah.
There's just so much about. Plus, going to a baseball game, there's no other feeling. Like I've never been to a football match, a soccer match, right? But I've been to basketball and I've been to football, and there's nothing like a baseball game, even a regular season baseball game. They're just so much fun. Um, and I think second, I do love watching like European football, right? European soccer. But this year has kind of brought a resurgence of American football to me. So I think I would have to say football would be number two. Um, not only for I mean, not only for NFL reasons, but for college reasons. I really enjoyed watching college football this year. Um, and then of course this year I got back into the Texans. In 2020 I denounced them because the organization was just horrible.
I got a follow up question to that whenever you're ready, but get through.
Yeah, I denounced them, and I started coming back around at the end of 2022 whenever they started making some changes for real in the within the organization, and I was like, okay, they're going the right way. And then they hired D'Amico Ryans, and I was all in after that. Oh, that's the guy I wanted to lead the team. So it was just exciting. And then of course we were good this year. Not that didn't really. Uh, I mean, it made me enjoy the season a lot more, but it didn't like sway me and be like, oh my god, I love football now. It was just exciting to have a team to cheer for again. That I really truly trusted.
So I was gonna say, if you denounced them in 2020 and you crept back on a season before the best season they've ever had, like, does that make you a bandwagoner? Fair weather, maybe?
I mean, I see it. You could call me that, sure, why not? But like,
I don't. Well, but I don't know.
I
Like,
was
how
there
many
through the
shitty
bad before.
seasons?
I was there
Yeah,
through the bad before, and that was just because the bad teams, right? And that's
yeah,
different. If your team is bad, like that's different. But we're talking about it from like 2020 to 2022 ish.
yeah,
They just had some stuff going on in that organization that I was like, I can't get behind these people. That was when all the Deshaun Watson stuff came out, and I was like, in my brain, I'm thinking, were we trying to hide it from the public to keep Watson looking good? Obviously, we weren't, but
yeah.
or at least apparently we weren't. So it was just a lot of like stuff in my head that I was like, I can't really support them right now. I don't really like the way they're going, the decisions they're making, but they changed it. So yeah, football would be my number two for that kind of that reason because I'm back in. It was fun this year for me.
I mean, yeah. It's a tough. It's close. I obviously, because of a fallout that I had just with football in general many years back, obviously not college football, but if I had to choose one, I would take, I think I would take soccer over
Well,
that.
here's
I
the
just
thing
enjoy it.
too for you is if you do baseball and soccer, you have no lulls in sports throughout the year.
No,
Because soccer really goes all year anyways, for the most
yeah,
part. But like you got sports the whole year. I got like a 2.5 month lull where I guess more like a month, but still. But
yeah,
I would have like a month where I can't do anything. I would go outside, I guess, and touch grass. So that's nice.
yeah. Um, I don't know. Preseason starts what, the last week of February?
Yeah, something like
So you get
that.
like, I mean, I know that's not the most exciting baseball, but that's like a 2 week, 3 week gap because February 9th ish is usually the Super Bowl.
Yeah, until things start ramping back up. It's pretty nice. Um, As it goes for playing though, obviously I can't really
Yeah.
play any. I mean, I could play like wheelchair soccer, which would be pretty funny to go see. But if I could like play normal sports, I would definitely be in like a softball league or like a
Okay.
preferably it would be baseball, but let's be honest with ourselves. I didn't have it then, I don't have it now. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
also like that's not the point
Like a beer
of
league is what I'm thinking.
yeah, beer league, but even competitive, dude. Like I just I don't think people I don't know. There's like the only people that are our age or slightly younger that should be playing baseball are people that are like minor leagues. That's it. Like I don't
Yeah.
fucking think grown men should be playing.
It's just
Even semi-pros kind of weird, you know?
yeah, but it's like I would do it just for the fun. I wouldn't get too competitive with it or anything.
Yeah.
Um but it is one of those things where I feel the same way about basketball, and this is why I said that I probably wouldn't choose basketball, is because I feel like as a normal human being, non-athlete, non-professional player,
Yeah.
you should not be putting that kind of stress on your joints and ligaments. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're and in baseball,
Raindrops. That's what it is.
you just
Raindrops.
you just shouldn't be doing that. You know, you just I just would imagine. I tore my ACL playing basketball when I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, there's I would definitely tear it again at 27. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
I also feel like recovery. I mean, I guess soccer's the same way, but like just the recovery time. Like you could go play softball. I mean, you're first off, I'm gonna feel that I played softball right now. Like even if it's like a beer league and you're just walking from base to base or whatever. But I feel like basketball, like anything you need like a couple days recovery time for, because that's a lot of cardio and that's a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Anything you need 2 days recovery or more from is not something you should play recreationally in a league as an adult male, in my
No,
opinion.
especially not if you have a family.
No, dude. Soccer player, like obviously at a pro level, those fuckers have to sleep for like 3 days, like afterwards, you know?
They're just sleeping in between games. They're doing nothing else.
Yeah, and just your diet has to be adjusted because your body you took too much from your body. Like, I'm not trying to do that on a Thursday night, knowing I'm going back into work on a Friday.
Yeah. Um, I think
Anyways,
the second one that I would play, it's tough, but I think it would also be golf
yeah.
for the same reasons. I
What,
mean,
but what made that tough? What's the one that's coming up right behind it?
dude, I feel like I I would really want to do tennis. I really really would want to do tennis.
Yeah.
And
If
I
I
have friends that would play it with me, but like would they play it as much as I would want to?
Well, but here's the thing. I thought while you were
Also
explaining,
also same reasonings for basketball and baseball or softball. That's I
yes,
mean as long as you're not playing too hard, I guess, but I don't know.
I feel like I get pretty competitive. I would be way more competitive with tennis than I would be with basketball. But I thought about something whenever you were explaining what you would watch. Like, dude, lesson. Like, you can't even take tennis lesson. Like, I enjoyed lessons, like hitting with a machine and having somebody give you, drills and stuff like that. You can't even do that. You know what I mean?
What do you mean
Because
like by yourself?
yeah, I mean, no, you like that would technically be like by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But you
yeah.
can't even, yeah, but you can't even do that in this scenario because you can't play it at all.
No,
So
not
like
at
you
all.
could play, yeah,
You could never pick it up ever again. I'm fine with never throwing a football again. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to throw a football. That's fine.
no,
It would suck to never throw a frisbee again. That would kind of suck, but that's not. I guess that's not. I mean, that's a sport, right? You got like ultimate
yeah.
frisbee.
I liked Ultimate Frisbee. I was gonna say flag football was pretty fun too, but not as nearly as fun as golf. Okay, let me put it this way. You know how many times I've played flag football since college?
None.
Zero,
Yeah.
zero. And then tennis, obviously, periodically I've played, but I golf a lot more, and I
Yeah.
feel like I enjoy golf a lot more. because it's a slow mental game if you really think about it.
Yeah.
It's physical, but not crazy.
Also, for the most part, there's a set time limit that you're going to be out there.
For golf?
Yeah, I mean, like, if
Oh,
you're like, I'm going to go play 18 holes, right?
yeah, and
Then you're
then
like,
by hole 12 you're fucking shit canned. And then
yeah,
it
but
takes
you know
7
that.
hours
You
longer.
expect
Yeah.
that, and then, or if you're like, I'm going to go play 9 holes, I'll be back in a couple hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tennis, it's like, hey, I'm going to go play some tennis. I'll either be back in 15 minutes or I'll be at the hospital.
7,
You
yeah.
know? So there's no telling. Because I hurt myself playing tennis too before, and that wasn't fun.
I have two. Not as bad as I assume I would playing basketball. Never really
Also,
tested it.
does this mean I would never be able to do ultimate frisbee either, or disc golf? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a
gonna
that's
say
a
no.
sport, right? Oh
I think you'd have to pick one or the other. And honestly, hands down, like I like disc golf, but
I
that's
would
a because yeah,
I,
I'm
I
not.
would
It's not,
rather golf, but
oh, 100%.
disc golf's fun though, man. It's a vibe.
Yeah, I don't do enough recreational drugs to play disc golf.
I
I
don't.
just don't.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Also, I'm not gonna go out and purchase like a disc golf set.
No, I'm gonna have the same three discs that come in the Academy starter pack. You got
Yeah.
a mid range, a driver, and a putter. That's it. That's what
And
I'm
I'm gonna
doing.
be honest with you, I'm probably gonna use the driver the whole time.
Probably, unless maybe the mid range, because I can tell you right now, I can't feel the difference. But that's also because I'm not a pro disc golfer, which is weird to say out loud altogether collectively.
A professional disc golfer. Every time I
Yeah.
think of disc golf, I just think of that vine. You know what I'm talking about?
What the fuck, Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, such a classic.
Raindrops. Yeah. Dude, I just one more call out. You gotta go look at it. The best man is in the house. Whoop. What's this?
Oh my
So
gosh.
right along that same vein, only because I'm going through some changes.
Okay.
I need everybody to hold my hand as
Real
this
serious
happens. But
topic. Real serious
serious
topic.
topic. But along with sport, like if you could only watch two sports, what's the best thing to pair with sports? It's hot wings.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
by far.
So the reason I say that I'm going through some changes, and we've had a little bit of talks about hot wings on the pod over, I think, well, hell, over the past 50, 49, 50 episodes I've been on. But again, to reiterate, this is fucking episode 80. So I guarantee you across the entire 80 episodes, we've mentioned hot wings probably multiple times. Um, but I have my favorites of the classic fried variety, but
Right.
I'm getting to where I like them smoked. Like
Mm.
but with a caveat. I don't want you to throw them on, and it frustrates me because we have some friends that do. Like I don't want you to just throw them on and like get them exactly to cooked. No, 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 no. I want them to be slow smoked so they're tender, and then I want you to toss them in the buffalo. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like you would fry them until they're tender, I want you to slow smoke them like you would a whole chicken until they're real tender. And I don't want them to be big, massive wings. I want them to be just medium size. The big
Mm.
ones are get rubbery and shit.
Yeah,
You need
and
a good,
there's too much. Let's be honest with let's really be honest with ourselves here. You know,
yeah,
it's not only does it feel more American and accomplishing to eat more of the small ones, but
but
they're better. They're cooked better.
and they're the right amount. I know it sounds crazy because you're eating like 10 or 12 of them or whatever, like, but it is the right amount. Because like I've had, we've been some places that do like smoked duck wings and smoked turkey wings. They're
Mm.
not as buffalo turkey wing. They're not as good. But anyways, so I'm becoming a smoked wing guy, and they're smoked and then they're buffaloed. I always go with classic buffalo, but you could smoke them and put them in garlic parmesan. It doesn't matter. But the foundation of the wing, instead of being fried, is smoked. And I never thought I would be that guy because everybody loves crispy buffalo wings, vinegary, buttery, crispy buffalo wings. Um, for most folks. But having them smoked, that's a whole different genre that I don't think gets enough recognition. And to me, it's becoming way better and more popular, like more available, I guess. Although there's some that are fucking terrible.
Yeah, I feel like the ones that are terrible are the ones that people try to do too fast, right? Because like the fried ones, the reason they're so popular is because you can pop them in real quick
Yeah.
and get them done. Smoked ones taste better when they're cooked right
Yes.
because they're
But they
cooked
take
so
a lot longer.
long. But if they try to rush it and get it, get it to the temp and cook it through real quick, then they dry out and they're not good. You know what I mean?
And so for you, what is your thoughts on how do you feel about smoked versus fried?
I mean, I love the smoked ones. I don't think I am I don't think I'm like leaning one way or the other more at the moment.
Mhm.
Um but it depends on like where you go that fries them to me. Because there's some places that over batter. You know what I mean? And it just turns into like you can almost get like a freaking KFC chicken leg,
I don't
but a hot wing.
I don't think I've ever. Oh, you talking about boneless?
No, no, no. I'm talking about you never had like on the bone wings that are like deeply battered.
There's only one. Like that's not a buffalo wing. There's only one person, one company that's allowed to bread them and then fry them and then toss them in buffalo and call it a buffalo wing.
Who's that?
That's Hooters. No one else is allowed to bread. That's a fucking fried chicken stick.
That
It's a
I'm just saying
fried.
I've had those and I'm not a big fan of. But ironically,
Yeah,
I
I'm not a
love
big fan.
Hooters wings.
I do too, but I also feel like they really toe the line of the piece is a little too big, a little too bready, and just barely cooked enough. They
Nope, they've
always
got a
toe
good
it.
buffalo though.
They do have a good buffalo. It's phenomenal
They got a
buffalo.
good buffalo sauce.
I do the I do the 3 Mile Island there, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean I love a good fried hot wing, but they give me a lot of heartburn.
Oh, obviously you're
A
gonna pay
lot.
for it. I'm not gonna say you're
I
gonna
mean,
love it. Like you're gonna love
any
it in the moment.
yeah, you're gonna be on in heaven until you're in hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, all hot wings are gonna give me heartburn because of the spice, anyways. But when they're breaded and fried like that,
Oh yeah.
it's even worse. And you know, for one, that I am a fan of double frieds sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, which they take it, they batter it, they they fry it, they toss it, they fry it again, and then they bring it out to you. And it's amazing, but it's heartburn city, and it sucks after a while. And the last like 3 times I've had it, they've been horrible. From
I
a
like
specific place.
I like them very, very crispy, which is why a battered wing sometimes doesn't like I want the meat to be crispy. And I think that's why sometimes the battered wing is not for me.
Yeah.
And you can have them smoked and be crispy too. I'm telling you,
Oh yeah.
it's like they smoke them until they're super tender and you've imparted the smoke and then you toss them in buffalo and then you hit them on the grill and it's kind of like double fry. You hit them on the grill to crisp them up like a little char grill quick. And damn. And but like I said, I've had some bad ones too. So I've probably had in the past 2 years. This is like it's a slow transition, kind of like when you lost your sight, right? It happened over a period of time, and so I didn't know it was happening. I just went in one.
But now it feels a lot more like it's happened a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
It
you're
was like
like, oh wow.
I didn't realize that it was happening. I thought, oh, maybe do I like this a little more? Ah, nah, that's bullshit. And then now I'm like, no, I do. I like them better. I think.
They're damn good.
Not that I'm ever,
You know
not
what
that I'm
else I
ever gonna
like?
turn down what.
I like them baked
Beef Park?
too.
Oh, no, not even.
Baked
Mm-mm.
wings.
Nope, not even remotely. Like if you're gonna
Really?
come in, hell no, I will not even eat them. If they come out like, dude, if you're talking like, there's a couple of different versions of baked, but no, I don't do baked at all. In fact, the only time I ever do them at the house is if I fry them, like deep fry them, or I mean, I guess I would smoke them, but I'm not
Oh
gonna do a
no.
baked wing at all, not even remotely close. No.
We've done some here at the house that we've baked them and they've been incredible.
Were they?
Oh
It's
yeah,
that
juicy
was
but
an anomaly.
crispy.
That was a stroke of luck anomaly, or maybe you guys have the magic. And I'm pretty good pretty good at cooking, obviously, and I still just don't want to ever want to bake.
Oh wow. I
You don't
actually
get
can't
the
believe that.
you don't get the right render. You don't get the right.
I mean, I'm not saying they're my favorite. I'm just saying I enjoy them every now and then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, you
With
got
a
to make do with what you got. Like
with a
whatever's
little
gonna
bit
happen.
of little bit of Frank's Red Hot wing sauce
Oh yeah, and I still add butter to that, even
and
though it's
butter.
already
Oh
fucking has.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a stick of butter, baby. A stick of butter in
But
a bowl with about halfway filled up with some and not toss them. Well, yes, toss them, but you know what I mean.
this is how. So I don't remember where we were. I think I was in like it was either Arizona or like Seattle or Portland or something. And it might have been California. I don't remember, but one of those places I like went in and there was like a hot wing place and they didn't give you any warning, which a lot of places don't. But they didn't give me any warning. They were just like hot wings, like, and I was like, oh, sweet. So go in, grab a pint or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a. Also, they did it in really weird. They were like, do you want a 7 piece? I was like, listen, I've seen five, I've seen six, I've even seen eight, but who the fuck is doing a 7 piece? Anyway, it came out and they were smoked, and like I ate them, and they were like, I'll say now that I've explored the world a little bit, I would say they were like a 6 or a 7. Okay. And I was like, damn, this is like, but at the time I was like, this is a little different. Like, hell yeah. Like, this is good, And didn't think anything about it. Went on about my way. And then later on, I was somewhere else, probably local here, and I had a fried wing again. And it was like from a reputable place that I'm very comfortable with. I get them double fried. I just know they're going to be the bee's knees. And they didn't hit the way they normally hit. But they were good. They were a good batch, but they just didn't hit the way they normally hit. And I was like, oh shit. I just kind of put it out of my mind. Suffered through the bowel situation, put it out of my mind.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I seek out some smoked wings. This was in like Chicago area, I think. And from then on, dude, everywhere I would go, I would just try to find the areas. Kansas City's got them, all these different places. All right, but it brings me to this point. There's a guy I work with, and he's I think he's from like the Illinois area, but he went to what's the college up there in Milwaukee? Football college. I mean
Milwaukee's
not football,
best.
not football college, basketball college. Anyway, I will
Duke?
think of it. No,
I don't
Duke
know
is
where
in the
Duke is.
Carolinas.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I
I'll
don't really know all the basketball stuff.
I'll look it up. Anyway, he went to the college in Milwaukee. And so he's like, and we were going to Milwaukee for work, and he was like, dude, um, you gotta go to Points East and get some wings. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like, dude, you're like really talking it up. I'm gonna get there. Fuck, dude, they're gonna be terrible. I shit you not, dude. This place is like the size of a Waffle House, okay? And it's just a bar. I'm pretty sure they don't do anything but wings. But I was thinking hot wings. He's like, you gotta get the buffalo wings from Points East, and I'm like, first off, what does Milwaukee know about buffalo wings?
Milwaukee's best, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna shit like, dude. Hands down, nothing's even close, dude. I've never had a hot wing in my life that was as good, but it's also of the smoke variety. Absolutely mind blowing. I would have gone back every single day and had them again while the whole week that we were there. And it's just a little, I don't want to say a shithole. It's just a regular pub. Like, in fact,
Like a hole
they
in
don't
the
even
wall
like,
place.
yeah, I mean, they advertise that they have hot wings, right? Obviously. But it's more of a, like, people are going there for beers, and then the food's kind of an afterthought thing,
They're
in
they're
my
not they're
opinion.
not saying like world's best wings on the
No,
door like an
no.
elf when he's got the world's best coffee.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Mm-mm.
When he goes in, he's like, "I'm gonna take you somewhere. It's the world's best coffee," and it's just this rinky dink. Because everybody says we have the
Oh,
world's
yeah.
best. They're not even doing that though. They're just like, "Nope, just come in and grab a bite if you want, but we're really here for the beer." And then you get the best
Marquette.
wings of your life. Marquette.
Marquette. Yeah.
Okay. I did not know they
Um,
were in.
Milwaukee. But yeah, so Points East Pub, uh, the best wings on the planet, in my opinion, and they're of the smoked variety. So if you happen to be right out there on the corner of North Jackson Street, then yes, go have you some. We're not sponsored by this. I believe Point East, I can tell you from a distance, is not the kind of place that's sponsoring people. They're doing fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. I'd love to do that.
Now,
I've heard
local.
there's been a few people that have told me they've had like wings from like Buffalo and they're really good. Um, but I mean, have you had the wings up there?
No, I've had them in Rochester, but I've never had them in Buffalo. I've been through Buffalo a number of times. It's my Canada jump. I guess I shouldn't say that out loud. No, it's fine. I fill out the paperwork. But um, yeah, I've never had buffalo wings in Buffalo. I've had the
Hmm.
Italian beef in Chicago. I've had the Philly in Philly. I've had the pizza in New York. I've had the deep dish in Chicago. I've had the
Mm.
tri-tip out in California. Like everything that you could possibly think, but I've never had the buffalo wings in Buffalo. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I know they're probably fried, but dude, they're gonna have to fight hard to take over Points East.
I bet there's some places out there that do smoked. There's no way
I
they
bet you
don't.
probably. The guy, who's the TikTok personality or not TikTok, but Instagram personality. The hey, listen, did you
Oh
know
yeah,
that guy? His son's
yeah.
a huge Bills fan, and they just went out obviously for the upset, but they just went out for he flew him out to the game, and that's what they did. They hit a couple of like iconic places, and he was like they were good, but they didn't rate any of them like super high. And actually, I think some of those were smoked. So
Hmm.
yeah,
My thing is just like whenever I was growing up, we would get Wingstop all the time, right? And I
yeah,
love Wingstop. Wingstop to this day is still my favorite chain wing place by far.
yeah.
Um, and I would go over to my buddy's house and we'd like skateboard and walk over and go over there and grab some wings for lunch and then skateboard the rest of the day, right? That was our routine. And still to this day, I'm chasing that specific flavor. And I
Yeah.
swear they don't have it anymore. Like I never got hot then because I was a pansy. So I would either get mild or medium. Okay. But it was such a vinegary, beautiful buffalo flavor. Like obviously
This,
not buffalo hot, but like the flavor. And I've even tried their medium now and their mild now, and I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not
this
the
is
flavor
bringing
I'm looking for.
this is bringing back deja vu because my favorite wing, right? We've talked about this. My favorite wing outside of like, first off, we do Wingstop because it's convenient. It's
Yeah.
very and it's fairly consistent,
Yeah.
right?
I've had some
Which is
bad
what,
before, but for the most part,
yeah, fairly consistent. You know what that sauce is going to be. And I'm always just a standard Buffalo hot guy. Um, so yeah, very consistent. But my favorite, and this is what made me think of that. I'm telling you, dude, Papa's.
yeah, Papa's on the
Papa's
lake
on
in
the
Conroe,
lake.
Texas.
It's like 50. We've talked about this. It's like 50% vinegar, 50% butter sauce, and whatever the other stuff is in there. Okay. They are so vinegary and they are so delicious. And every time I got them, they were so crispy. They're smaller, but they're so crispy and like even small, a little bit smaller than you would want. You're like, hey, I think I'm getting fucking ripped on these. But anyway, they're a little bit small, but they're just super crispy. They're super vinegary. So when you just said, fuck, my mouth is watering. When
Dude,
you
me
just
too.
said we would sneak over there and we would get them, and you still crave that. When I crave hot wings, everything else is a substitute to that. Even the smoked ones that I
Yeah.
just talked up for 20 minutes, all of those are a substitute for that flavor of. And I can see the basket with the shit paper in it. It's like the
Oh
black
yeah.
and white checker, you
Yeah,
know?
with no air conditioner, just
No.
outside heat and fans blowing it around,
All the tables are sticky because it's humid as shit. Like,
and there's beer everywhere.
yes. And it, like, the unfinished concrete has absorbed God knows how many gallons of just sweat, lake water, beer, urine, probably. Like, that, it's
We're
not
giving
even
we're
the
giving this
environment.
we're giving this place a really bad rap. It's a really cool place.
Oh no, it's slamming, and dude, they got a muffalata that's fucking slamming
Oh
too.
yeah, they
Anyway,
do.
all I'm saying is, um, that when you said that, that's I could take. I haven't had Papa's in probably 6 or 7 years, and immediately I tasted that first bite. that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just something you don't forget, man. That flavor that you love so much.
yeah.
It's got to be what it is. It's something in the vinegar, I feel like, dude, cuz with hot wings at least, cuz you I've had some good vinegary buffalo wings, but
Hmm.
like nothing like what I'm chasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't even been able to recreate it on my own. I could
No.
dump it only in a vat of vinegar and it wouldn't be the same, you know?
I've never once had anything come close to honestly everything at like there's things I crave like ribs, like muffaladas, like random sandwiches, but when I crave them, I can't the whole experience doesn't come with it. I'm just like, "Oh, dude, I would really love a bowl of chili." But I don't remember exactly where I sat the first time I had a bowl of chili and I can't taste that chili and maybe even have my bowels react to as if I've already had that chili was a bad example, but all that being said, that's how I feel about hot wings. And I'm not like I don't love them all the time. Sometimes I'm like, hot wings. I don't think so. But whenever you say hot, like, hey, you want to go get some hot wings? I immediately
Mm,
taste Papa's on the Lake, and I know exactly where I was, and I know exactly that. I don't even think that was my first hot wing, but in my memory, everything else is clouded out.
yeah. Yeah. No, I get behind that cuz it was my first hot wing for sure. It was also my first like hot buffalo wing. Like
Oh yeah.
hot because my dad gave me one when we were on the lake out there one day and
Do they
it
have
burned the
other
hell out of my
options?
mouth. I think they have like a mild. They have like a mild
Okay.
and a hot. I think they don't. They might have more now. I haven't been there in 14 years. You know what I mean?
I think it's almost worth a day trip, dude. Like we should.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's no going back. You know what I mean? Like we've talked about this with pizza. We've
Oh,
talked about, and luckily the Shack was killer. But we've talked about this with
like what if it's
pizza. We've
changed?
yeah. So there's a chance that it's the risk you take. But like I think we owe it to ourselves. You know?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah. Just go out
We got to
there
make it happen.
and just get some. And if they're as amazing as you remember, holy shit. But if they're not, it's worth the risk.
It is what it is. Then we
The
can go on about our lives.
Yeah, like, and then we can come back to tell the story of like, oh, bro, the way they used to be. You know,
Yeah, they
that's it.
changed it. Y'all didn't get to taste them before they changed them.
The risk is worth the reward. I They still got the same. Hell, I don't know if it's even the same people. This was how many years ago? When's the last time you had them? You said probably 10 years.
Probably more than the last time we went on the lake in the boat. Maybe
I
my
think it's.
sophomore year of high school.
Oh yeah, so it's probably been for
11
me. I think
years.
we had like a 10 or 15 years high school reunion over there, and it was like we were slammed, and that's when we shared a muffalata. But I think I also had some of the wings. Maybe I don't remember. So yeah,
It
obviously it
was
must not have
cloudy.
happened because I don't think how no matter how intoxicated I was,
Would
I
have
would have.
forgotten.
Yeah,
All right. Well, it's time for us to get into WWYBDs here. You've gone first the last two, so I'll go first this time.
dude, did you really keep up with that? You got like a little check mark system over there, or a tab system, or something, or
No,
you just remembered?
I just remembered.
Damn,
Yeah,
there's
no.
no way I would have remembered two in a row. So kudos.
Yeah. Well, it was the
You think the
first two
glasses?
episodes. So.
You think the glasses are helping your memory?
There's a very good chance. I feel a lot less foggy all the time. You know what I mean?
So you're not
Uh,
like walking through a cloud all the time.
yeah, exactly.
Send it.
For me, this might be really generic, but this is like a park beer. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing myself like walking around the park with I don't know uh, my friends or whatever, just hanging out. Whether we're like walking around or we're just like I'm just sitting on a bench chilling. That's what I keep seeing. But like
So
other people are around, but not necessarily with me. You know what I mean?
So just out there doing a little public intoxicating, right? Is that
Yeah,
basically
well,
what you say?
a
You
little
got it
bit.
hidden in a sack, or are you showing the world you can?
No, I got it in my my Yeti koozie.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Keeping her nice and cold,
I didn't know
chilling.
if you were.
Maybe walking the dog, just chilling.
I didn't know if you had it in one of those brown paper koozies or something, and you were just like, I
No,
can't let the
it's
world
super
know.
trashy, bro. Come on.
Uh,
This ain't a freaking tall boy. You know what I
is
mean?
it is there a specific season that's happening in this park, or
Yeah,
is
so I
it?
was gonna say it's like I see it being like 70, but sunny, no wind. You know what I mean? It's like the touch between winter and spring here in Texas, at least. Right
Like
before it starts getting hot.
2 days in mid-March, basically.
Maybe
And
early
dude, there's
March.
you
Yeah.
know another the shitty part about those 2 days too, when it's perfect, they're always like on a fucking Tuesday and a Wednesday.
Yeah, so
God
you can't
forbid we get
enjoy
them on a
them.
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I
And
know.
then
Anyway,
it's gonna rain on Friday and then be 90 degrees on the weekend and be humid
yeah.
and miserable.
Dude, that is okay. We can move on because I know we're coming up on time, but like that is the shit. You're right. It cometh and then they take it away. It's
Oh,
like it's
immediately.
too cold in February, and then right at the end of February, you get those cool 2 days on that Monday and that Tuesday, and everybody's at work. And then it starts raining on a Wednesday, and you're like, damn, it's a little chilly. And then Saturday, it's fucking 90 degrees and it's hot as shit, and it never
Never
comes
go.
back.
No, it
And
only
then
goes up.
you blink your eyes and you're like, oh, it's late October.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's still 95 degrees.
damn it. Anyway, I feel you. I honestly, that is not my WWIBD, but I could definitely see myself BD in that.
Oh yeah, be doing. So what is
Um,
your WWIBD?
Mine is really lame compared to that. This to me is a cornhole at an indoor brewery beer.
Mm.
You know how sometimes you go, like,
Is the
obviously,
cornhole indoor?
yeah, the cornhole is.
Yeah.
So we didn't talk about it, but like there's a lot of breweries that have like yard games outside. Love those to death. I wouldn't necessarily be drinking this while I was playing outside, but if I'm indoors, especially where there's not so fair weather, like Buffalo and Rochester and upstate New York, Maine, Delaware. I mean not Delaware, what's the one? Vermont. Anyways, those bro, fucking how weak was the geography on that? But yeah, Vermont, those ones where they got breweries, yeah, they have to put that shit inside because it's in uninhabitable most of the year. And
Yeah,
this is an indoor cornhole beer for me at a pub or brewery.
I can see it. For me, there's like a lot of beers that are like that, right? Like
Yeah.
a like a cornhole or a washer's beer. But yeah, this one sticks out. I could see it.
And and here's why. And then can I did I do ratings back to back or did you do ratings back to back or you don't remember that far?
No, I did. You did the WWDs, but I did the ratings.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right into ratings, and I'm gonna tell you why I think this is a cornhole pub beer. Super drinkable. It has a craftiness to it, but it's not like earlier we kind of made it out like oh it must be their generic beer or whatever. It doesn't have the flavor of a generic beer
No.
by any means. Um, the alcohol rating is just perfect. You could drink a good bit of it with the most flavor. I think I've said this maybe about some other beers, but I feel like you get the best bang for your buck. It's not super super bitter, but you get a full flavor that's a little bit crafty with a pretty decent alcohol content, but not the ones that knocked you on your ass or the ones that are so weak that you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So entry, I have a 5. I think it enters as expected. Like I've obviously probably had better, but it enters better. It enters 2 steps up from like what I consider generic American ale. Aftertaste stays at a 5. For those beers that start out a little weaker, they can redeem themselves, but this one stays pretty consistent. I'm proud of that. Body, I have it a 5. I think it coats. I think there's flavors to it. It changes a little bit as it sits on the tongue. Color, I do have a 2. And here's why. I think it's a little bit cloudy. It doesn't say anything about it being filtered or unfiltered. I know that it's crafty. It's a little bit cloudy. I also would expect it to be a little bit darker, and it almost has like a hazy shandy look to it. I was just expecting it to be more beery than like a sour would be or something like that. Bitterness, I have it a 3. I think it's on par. Not expecting more. It's not setting the world on fire, but it's not anything less. Same with acidity. I think those are dialed in. Fizz, I have it a 4. I don't change scores. I probably could have put this at a 5, but 4 is what it settled into very early on. So I think that makes me a 5, 10, 15, 23, 27.
All right. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't give it a little bit of a higher fizz because you burped right off the rip.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, it could have been so 27-28. If you guys are putting asterisks near if you want to put an asterisk near what I did, but I originally gave it a 4.
All right.
Where you
Um,
at?
yeah, an entry and aftertaste. I have a 4 for each of those for the same reason that you gave. It goes in nice. It finishes about the same. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down. Body, I have a 5. I think we have a really solid flavor going on here. Like you said, it's really drinkable. Coat's nice, everything like that. Color, I do have a 3. It kind of shocked me a little bit, the
Yeah.
color, but the color is very misleading for the flavor.
Yes. That's
It's
a good
very
point.
weird because the flavor is spot on, but you if you poured it, if they like gave it to you in a glass, you'd be like, they gave me the wrong beer.
Yeah.
But
You
then
know
you would
what?
taste it and be like, no, they didn't. They gave me the right beer.
So honestly, now that you say, I'm not going to change, but now that you say that, not in an offensive way, because I really do love this beer. I think my color could be even worse. Like I have it as a
Right?
2 because it was ugly, and because I think it was foggy. It was something I wasn't expecting. But you're right. When I look at it, that's
You
not
would be like,
exact.
that's not
I
an
don't
ale.
expect exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
It's
continue.
weird. But like to me in the scale, I guess yeah, mine could probably be lower too now that I'm thinking about it.
What
Because
do you
like
have?
at my scale is like a 4 for me is like exactly what I expect.
No,
Right?
mine's a 3. But yeah,
Like it's like what I expect it to be. A 3 is like right below that. A 5 is like this is very good. It could be one of my favorites, and a 6 is obviously this is perfect, right? So yeah, I think my color could probably go down too now that I said it like that. But we'll leave it. Bitterness, I have a 5 actually. I think I think it's pretty dang close bitterness wise what I want in an ale. Um, it's not too bitter at all. Not bitter enough, right? Acidity, I have a 4. It's pretty spot on, like I said. And fizz, I also have a 4. I think they hit me pretty early as well. They were pretty consistent and they were pretty good. But they weren't like back to back to back to back. It was just consistent for the hour, so that's nice. So my total's a 29. Again, give or take 1 point for the color.
one thing I want to call out. I know we're coming up on time here, but one thing I want to call out is like, not that we get a tremendous amount of questions from our just endless number of fans and our unlimited views, but and or listens. But I would say this: have you ever thought? I'm going to leave this as a note for next week. But have you ever thought that maybe because we're brothers, our palates are half-ass similar? You ever think about that? Because there's things that you like that I definitely don't like at all, like in food, maybe, or like that we don't necessarily. Like, I don't want to say that we don't like at all, but like you definitely way prefer over me, and I'm like, I'm out. Like, not
Well, I
my
mean, I
favorite.
like cucumbers and you don't, so
Yeah, I know, but like, do you think that maybe we are like DNA predispositions you to like certain beers? Don't
probably.
answer the question, but just let's think about that
All right,
because
I
I
answered
feel
it
like
already, but okay.
all right, well, okay,
No, yeah, we should think about it. We should sit on that and think about it for a little bit. That's for sure.
yeah, okay. I was just thinking about
Um, all right, we have gotten to that point in the podcast where I'm going to tell you to go follow us on social media on Twitter and TikTok at Off the Tap Pod, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Off the Tap Podcast.
nothing super creative for this week, but it serves a great cause. Go out and buy it. It's not a fridge sitter. Oh, we didn't even mention that. I'm going off, dude. We're all over the place. It's definitely not a fridge sitter. I would highly recommend it. If you can, go out and get you some Lucky 19 Brewing Company Warrior American Ale. It's a great purpose. Even though it's going to look like shit kind of in the glass, it's going to be phenomenal and you're going to love it.